The M16 rifle became one of the most iconic and controversial weapons of the Vietnam War. Introduced by the United States military in the early 1960s, the M16 represented a dramatic shift in infantry warfare. Unlike the heavy wooden-stocked rifles of previous wars, the M16 was lightweight, modern, and designed for rapid fire in jungle combat. The rifle fired a small-caliber 5.5 6x45 mm NATO cartridge, allowing soldiers to carry more ammunition than ever before. Its aluminum receiver and plastic furniture were revolutionary at the time, reducing weight significantly compared to the older M14 rifle. However, the early deployment of the M16 in Vietnam was plagued with problems. Soldiers were initially told the weapon was self-cleaning, which turned out to be dangerously incorrect. Combined with changes in gunpowder and the humid jungle environment, this caused frequent jamming during combat, sometimes with deadly consequences. As the war progressed, improvements were made. The M16A1 variant introduced a forward assist, chrome-plated chamber, and proper cleaning kits. Once corrected, the rifle proved highly accurate, controllable on automatic fire, and effective in close jungle engagements. The M16 allowed American troops to engage the enemy at longer ranges while maintaining high rates of fire. It symbolized the modernization of warfare and became the foundation for the rifle family still used by the US military today. Despite its troubled beginnings, the M16's legacy in Vietnam reshaped infantry weapons forever and marked the beginning of the modern assault rifle era for Western armies. The AK-47 was the backbone of North Vietnamese and Viet Cong forces during the Vietnam War. Designed by Mikhail Kalashnikov in the Soviet Union, the AK-47 became famous for its simplicity, durability, and reliability, qualities perfectly suited for jungle warfare. Unlike Western rifles, the AK-47 could function in mud, rain, dirt, and extreme humidity with minimal maintenance. This made it ideal for guerrilla fighters operating deep in the jungles, often without access to proper cleaning supplies. The weapon fired the powerful 7.6 2x39 mm cartridge, delivering strong stopping power at close to medium ranges. While less accurate than the M16 at long distances, it excelled in ambush tactics and close-quarter firefights. The distinctive curved magazine and loud firing sound became symbols of the Viet Cong presence. Many American soldiers could recognize an AK-47 firing instantly, often triggering immediate combat reactions. Captured AK-47s were sometimes even used by US Special Forces due to their reliability and the availability of enemy ammunition. The rifle's psychological impact was immense. It became a symbol of resistance against technologically superior forces. The AK-47's performance in Vietnam solidified its reputation as one of the most successful firearms ever created, still used worldwide decades later. The M60 machine gun was the primary general-purpose machine gun used by US forces during the Vietnam War. Nicknamed the Pig by American soldiers due to its weight and appetite for ammunition, the M60 delivered devastating firepower on the battlefield. Chambered in 7.6 2x51 mm NATO, the M60 was capable of sustained automatic fire, making it essential for suppressing enemy positions and defending perimeters. In jungle warfare where visibility was limited, the M60 provided overwhelming fire superiority. The weapon was commonly carried by infantry squads, mounted on helicopters, river patrol boats, and defensive bunkers. Its presence often changed the tide of engagements, forcing enemy fighters to retreat or remain pinned down. However, the M60 had its drawbacks. It was heavy, difficult to maintain, and prone to overheating during extended firing. Despite these issues, soldiers trusted the M60 when firepower was urgently needed. The sound of an M60 firing was unmistakable and often boosted morale among friendly troops. It became one of the most respected support weapons used by US forces throughout the war. The SKS rifle played a significant role in the early stages of the Vietnam War, especially among North Vietnamese army units. Designed in the Soviet Union, the SKS was a semi-automatic rifle firing the same 7.6 2x39 mm cartridge as the AK-47. Although eventually replaced by the AK-47, the SKS remained widely used due to its accuracy and reliability. Its fixed 10-round magazine and longer barrel made it more precise at medium ranges. The rifle's rugged construction allowed it to withstand harsh jungle conditions, and its simplicity made training easy for new soldiers. The attached bayonet also made it useful in close combat. Many SKS rifles were supplied by China and the Soviet Union, highlighting the global Cold War influence on the Vietnam conflict. The SKS represented a transitional weapon, bridging the gap between traditional rifles and modern assault weapons, and served reliably throughout the war. The M79 grenade launcher gave U.S. infantry a powerful indirect fire capability during the Vietnam War. Nicknamed the Thumper, this single-shot, shoulder-fired weapon allowed soldiers to launch explosive grenades farther and more accurately than hand-thrown grenades. Firing a 40mm grenade, the M79 was devastating against enemy positions, bunkers, and jungle cover. It became especially valuable in ambush situations where enemy forces were concealed. Grenadiers trained extensively to estimate distances accurately, as the weapon required precision aiming. The psychological impact of incoming grenades often forced enemy troops to retreat or scatter. Despite carrying only one round at a time, the M79 was highly respected and feared. It laid the foundation for modern underbarrel grenade launchers used today. The M1911 pistol was one of the most trusted sidearms carried by American forces during the Vietnam War. Originally adopted by the U.S. military in 1911, this .45 caliber handgun had already proven itself in 2 world wars before being sent into the jungles of Southeast Asia. Chambered in .45 ACP, the M1911 delivered strong stopping power, making it effective in close quarters combat. In the dense jungle terrain of Vietnam, where encounters could happen suddenly and at very short range, this reliability was crucial. The pistol was primarily issued to officers, helicopter pilots, tank crews, and special forces. Many soldiers preferred it over newer sidearms due to its rugged construction and combat-proven performance. Even when exposed to mud, rain, and humidity, the M1911 continued to function reliably. Its single-action trigger allowed for accurate shooting, while the heavy round was capable of neutralizing threats quickly. Though it carried only 7 rounds per magazine, soldiers valued quality and power over capacity. The M1911's long service life in Vietnam cemented its legendary status. Even decades later, it remains one of the most respected military pistols ever produced. The M14 rifle was the standard U.S. infantry rifle at the beginning of the Vietnam War. Designed as a replacement for the M1 Garand, the M14 fired the powerful 7.6 2x51mm NATO cartridge and offered both semi-automatic and fully automatic firing modes. While the rifle performed well in open terrain, Vietnam's dense jungles revealed its limitations. The weapon was long, heavy, and difficult to control on automatic fire. Despite this, it was highly accurate at long ranges and extremely reliable. Many designated marksmen favored the M14 due to its accuracy and stopping power. The rifle could penetrate thick vegetation and enemy cover better than lighter calibers. As the war progressed, the M14 was gradually replaced by the lighter M16, but it continued to see use in sniper and support roles. Some M14 rifles were even modified into early sniper variants. The M14's role in Vietnam represents a transition period between traditional battle rifles and modern assault rifles. The RPD light machine gun was widely used by North Vietnamese Army and Viet Cong forces as a squad-level automatic weapon. Developed in the Soviet Union, the RPD fired the same 7.6 2x39mm ammunition as the AK-47. This compatibility simplified logistics and allowed fighters to share ammunition easily. The RPD featured a drum-fed belt system, enabling sustained automatic fire during ambushes and defensive operations. The weapon was lighter than full-sized machine guns and could be carried through jungle terrain with relative ease. Its bipod allowed stable firing from defensive positions, trails, and hidden camps. The RPD played a crucial role in guerrilla warfare tactics, providing suppressive fire while fighters maneuvered or withdrew. Its reliability and simplicity made it well suited for harsh conditions. Although eventually replaced by the RPK, the RPD remained effective throughout much of the Vietnam War. The PPHH-41 submachine gun was one of the oldest weapons still in use during the Vietnam War. Originally designed in the Soviet Union during World War II, despite its age, it remained effective in jungle combat. Firing 7.6 2x25mm Tokarev ammunition, the PPHH-41 had an extremely high rate of fire, making it devastating at close range. Its drum magazine allowed sustained bursts, ideal for ambushes and surprise attacks. The weapon was simple, rugged, and easy to maintain. In close jungle fighting, accuracy mattered less than volume of fire, and the PPH excelled in this role. Many PPH-41 seconds were supplied to North Vietnamese forces by allied communist nations. The weapon's loud firing sound and rapid bursts were often terrifying for enemy troops during sudden encounters. Even decades after its creation, the PPH-41 proved that well-designed weapons could remain relevant long after their introduction. The M72 light anti-tank weapon, commonly known as the Law, provided us infantry with portable explosive firepower during the Vietnam War. Although originally designed to defeat armored vehicles, it found extensive use against bunkers and fortified positions. The Law was lightweight, disposable, and easy to operate, allowing individual soldiers to carry and deploy it quickly. In jungle combat, enemy bunkers were often well hidden and heavily reinforced, making explosive weapons essential. The rocket could penetrate earthworks, wooden structures, and light armor. Its sudden explosive impact often forced enemy troops to abandon fortified positions. The M72 Law enhanced the flexibility of infantry units, allowing them to respond quickly to unexpected threats without waiting for heavy support. Though simple in design, the Law proved highly effective and influenced the development of modern shoulder-fired weapons. The M72 light anti-tank weapon, commonly known as the Law, provided us infantry with portable explosive firepower during the Vietnam War. Although originally designed to defeat armored vehicles, it found extensive use against bunkers and fortified positions. The Law was lightweight, disposable, and easy to operate, allowing individual soldiers to carry and deploy it quickly. In jungle combat, enemy bunkers were often well hidden and heavily reinforced, making explosive weapons essential. The rocket could penetrate earthworks, wooden structures, and light armor. Its sudden explosive impact often forced enemy troops to abandon fortified positions. The M72 Law enhanced the flexibility of infantry units, allowing them to respond quickly to unexpected threats without waiting for heavy support. Though simple in design, the Law proved highly effective and influenced the development of modern shoulder-fired weapons. The M40 sniper rifle marked the beginning of modern U.S. Marine Corps sniping during the Vietnam War. Adopted in the mid-1960s, the M40 was based on the Remington Model 700 and chambered in 7.6 2x51mm NATO. Vietnam's terrain made snipers especially valuable. Dense jungles, riverbanks, and open clearings required precision fire rather than massed infantry assaults. The M40 provided excellent accuracy, allowing Marines to engage targets at long distances with minimal exposure. The rifle featured a wooden stock and a telescopic scope, offering superior precision compared to standard infantry rifles. Skilled snipers used it for reconnaissance, counter-sniper missions, and disrupting enemy movements. Vietnam War snipers became legends, and the M40 played a central role in shaping sniper doctrine. Lessons learned from its use directly influenced future sniper rifles and training programs. The M40 wasn't just a weapon. It represented a new philosophy of warfare: patience, precision, psychological dominance. The SVD Dragunov sniper rifle was introduced by the Soviet Union and later supplied to North Vietnamese forces. Unlike traditional sniper rifles, the Dragunov was designed as a designated marksman rifle, bridging the gap between infantry rifles and precision weapons. Chambered in 7.6 2x54 mmR, the SVD allowed trained shooters to extend the effective range of infantry units. Its semi-automatic action enabled quicker follow-up shots, which proved useful in ambush scenarios. In Vietnam, the Dragunov was used to harass enemy patrols, defend supply routes, and counter American snipers. Its presence added pressure and unpredictability to jungle combat. The rifle symbolized the growing sophistication of North Vietnamese forces and their access to advanced Soviet weaponry. The SVD's design remains influential even today.